Hey guys, Taylor with GammaEdge here, coming at you with a market recap for June 16, 2025. Our pre-market game plan today nailed the price action, that being, top of the market was 60.50. We saw that early in the pre-market with the structure of the options market in terms of how speculation was positioned. And then our intraday tools really just confirmed that in terms of not seeing any upside speculation. So let's get into that pre-market prep, how we got those levels, and then what our intraday tools were showing us. All right, so here's the SPX 0DT dashboard from this morning. Ignore this implied open. We opened right at 60.10, which is the top of our drunken sailor range and also our DEX transition zone. So a key pivotal focal point in the structure. If you've been watching us for any amount of time, you'll know exactly why this is important. But if you don't, just know that this is kind of a key focal point in the structure where call domination, call spark speculators start to take over the structure. So what this means is all else equal, so long as we can hold 60.10 and we also see call speculation coming into the complex, we expect to see a continuation higher. Those spots where we expected to see a continuation higher was A, 60.25, 60.30. There's a significant amount of speculation that was sitting there today due to the iron condor structure in place. And then above that, 60.50, which we thought was kind of the top of the potential range for the day. Again, this is our level that we call COI. That's just the level with the most call speculation in the structure. Right, so just highlighting, we have the write-up here saying 60.50, large, massive, formidable to overcome. And then, right, we just have a bid in here about 60.30, 60.25. You can pause this and read it if you want to. So, right, that's kind of our if-thens of how we saw things progress. A, we wanted to hold 60.10, then we just want to keep progressing through the structure up to 60.50 was kind of the targets, the upside, so long as the market and kind of the intraday action was supporting that. And so, right, that's exactly what we got, right? We opened at 60.10, then we really just shot up to 60.50, almost to the penny is where we really just topped out on the day. And there's kind of just a fluttering like a feather down towards the middle of that iron condor structure, 50% retracement from the high to low intraday if you're into that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's really just a textbook day. And then in terms of our intraday market analysis, intraday volume is SPX 0DT. It's what we analyze on an intraday basis just to understand how speculators are transacting throughout the day, because it helps us understand the character of price action in terms of trending versus choppy. And then it understands all things equal, if we know how speculators have been speculating in terms of the strikes that they're piling in at, then all things equal, we can kind of project out what that projected path of those centroids, meaning the middle of the distribution that we look at on a 5-minute basis. And I will show you how that is more useful here in a second, because I realize what I just said is probably likely confusing. So I'll show you an example. But nonetheless, we can see that intraday volume from the call side was, we got that nice push higher, which made sense with that push higher off the open. But then the rest of the day, we saw zero continuation. And in fact, we saw a reversal and kind of just a trending lower, which makes sense of why we got the choppy action that we did. We didn't see any speculation higher. Same thing with the put side, which is a nice kind of general fluttering higher. So, it kind of tells us, okay, the risk to a downside move is not that high. So we're not seeing a total collapse in the put speculation. And then, right, you pile on that on top of our key level, 60.50 key level. Again, we topped out right there. Then again, speculation was really suggesting we were not going higher than 60.50. So, once we kind of got into the afternoon where that range was kind of definitively set, that's where really the call sellers in the community stepped in, and I know it did pretty well there. And here's an example of what I've shown you on a more of an intraday basis using our volume tool. So you can see this is, the 5-minute centroids. We can see from the open to this is at 1:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the behavior, all things equal. We see that this continuing through the close. Put side, same thing, all things equal, that continuing through the close, and price falls where the centroids are going. So again, kind of projecting choppy price action, which is exactly what we got. And then pairing this with our market trend model, cumulative tick, filtered tick on an intraday basis is what we leverage. We can see really no acceleration higher. We can see that we did get that nice push, but then in terms of filtered tick buying, that really subsided. In terms of the cumulative tick, that really subsided as well. And we actually saw a little bit of weakness into the close. So from more of kind of a global point, stepping back, are seeing a little bit of weakness in the short term. I know structure in the pre-market, we were going over, pre-market structure is weakening a little bit. So need to be sure that we're reviewing not just zero DT, but what's happening globally. We'll be touching on that tomorrow pre-market as well, making seeing if it strengthened at all, or if it continued to deteriorate, which would be more on a multi-day to multi-week time frame, as opposed to, I know we kind of honed in specifically on zero DT action in this video, but our pre-market prep video really focuses in on, if you're a swing trader out there, if the environment is conducive for that. So, and just look at the market trend model right now. On the shortest term time frame, we certainly are a little bit weaker. So something to keep in mind. But with that, you should have understood pre-market prep, those key levels, why 60.50 was a topside level, and that made sense. And then our intraday tools of how that kind of confirmed A, the push up, and then B, the kind of choppy to sideways to lower action throughout the rest of the session. So with that, appreciate the time. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.